very kind. You're not so kind when you got ripped off with your salaries. My auto worker friends and my Teamster friends and all of the unions that typically voted Democrat, they're not voting Democrat anymore because worker, whether union or non-worker, they're for the Republicans now. That's what happened. But we will charge them approximately half of what they are and have been charging us. So
Trump's reciprocal trade plan will save or sink the economy in 2025. If you're feeling a little bit of uncertainty out there, folks, you're not alone. As a matter of fact, I'd argue that we are all in this together, and it's part of the reason why this channel exists. To talk about things that really matter, real things that matter to real Americans just like you and me. This also affects you because at the end of the day, we do live in a global economy. We do have global markets, and what hurts us might hurt you in some other way. And I definitely want to hear from you as well because your thoughts, your opinions, they really do matter. So, what if America said, you tax us, we're going to tax you right back? That's kind of the core idea behind Trump's reciprocal trade plan. And there are some circles inside of the United States government that really support this idea of reciprocal trade. Trump calls it just being fair and protecting American jobs and making America wealthy again.
if you look at that, China, first row, China, 67%. That's tariffs charged to the USA, including currency manipulation and trade barriers. So 67%, I think you can, for the most part, see it. Those with good eyes, with bad eyes. We didn't want to bring, it's very windy out here. We didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing.
However, his critics are saying this is economic suicide. Like, will it protect jobs or will it spark a new trade war in 2025? So, welcome to the Economic Report Card, where we decode the policies that shape your life, shape your country, and also affect your wallet. And these things are real and they're happening right before our eyes. Let's check them out. So, what is the reciprocal trade plan anyway? Here's the idea, like, if a country imposes tariffs on U.S. goods, we respond with the same rate, 20% in, 20% out. Equal footing. That's what Trump's on about. Trump says this reverses decades of bad trade deals, going all the way back to like World War II, in the post-war world, that when we were rebuilding the world economy, that the United States purposely got into bad trade deals that were compounded and made worse over time. It's a move to now Trump's got a move to protect American jobs and industries and kind of shift the global leverage. Because let's face it, America has lost a ton of manufacturing jobs that have gone overseas. And what's replaced those jobs? Empty factory spaces, leveled factory buildings, and leveled building capacity. And it's also had an effect on the average American, and it's not been a good one. So, who really is backing Trump in this idea? And so, the supporters' names include people like Peter Navarro and key manufacturers in swing states. They claim the plan rebuilds U.S. leverage and protects working class jobs, blue collar, lower middle class, and middle class jobs, and in some cases, upper middle class jobs, jobs that really matter. And I want to make sure that we're understanding this is a very real thing that's taken place in the United States over the past 25 to 30 years. And there's been real economic and personal consequences by losing these jobs. So you might be curious and say, well, who on earth would be criticizing this then? And the fact is, there's a number of economists out there. Now, these are people who really understand business and understand economic cycles. And they are warning that these actions by the president could really spark a global trade war and really bring more and more retaliation against the United States. And who wants to be the Darth Vader or the evil empire of the world economy? Which I don't think that we are. But the fact is, when you're seen as the person who's disrupting the status quo, well, there's obviously people's toes that are going to be stepped on. And we're talking about the flow of money. We're talking about the flow of not just economic power, but we're also talking about the impact on the individual lives of ordinary people just like us. So, cars, groceries, technology, like nothing is off limits. Even our allies, the countries that we support and who support us right back, even they can hit us back. And that's kind of a more important thought here to ponder because there's always these secondary ideas that most people don't consider when it comes to the word tariff and making America great again. The question is, are there any consequences? So let's face it, these things affect every single one of us because at the end of the day, just like throwing a rock into a pond, there is the ripple effect. And those ripples are felt everywhere, not just here in the good old US of A, but all the way throughout the planet because this channel here, we have people all over the world who tune in. And I've spoken with people in Germany, spoken with people in the UK, people in Western Europe, people in Eastern Europe, people in Asia, people in Canada, people in Mexico. And I appreciate that because you're kind of warning the alarm that this isn't just a US problem. This is really becoming everybody's problems. So we know that it's going to affect us in several different ways, like higher prices, potential to shift jobs from one place to another. And folks, there's going to be some pretty massive effects on the global supply chain as well. But but some say it really could mean reshored jobs back to the United States. Maybe it means more legal immigration into the United States for those types of jobs that existed, and maybe stronger US industry. It's a gamble, but this time with your wallet. And if you think about some of the different time periods inside the United States, from like the 1870s through the 1920s, massive immigration into the United States, legal immigration into the United States for these good jobs that existed in places like Cleveland and Akron and Detroit and Madison, Wisconsin. So just understand these jobs really do matter. And if you want to build your country up, it's got to be most of the time through good economics, good, solid, stable politics, and maybe most of all, an opportunity to live the American dream. The fact is, this really isn't fake news. This is real news. And this news is hitting every single one of us, every single person inside of the United States and members of the global community all feel a degree of uncertainty. They feel that financial pinch. They care about their families, their loved ones, whether it's future weddings, the education of their children, because this is disruptive. And this disruption isn't just a disruption in your house, it's a disruption everywhere. And so that's part of the reason why I built this community to share your thoughts and comments, share your fears, share by just making a comment below. Try to keep things as civil as possible because your thoughts matter. And I want to remind you that we're all in this together. And if you found this really valuable and you'd like more videos just like this delivered to your inbox every day, hit like and hit subscribe because the YouTube algorithm really likes that and it will help elevate this channel to help other people out just like you. And just remember, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest battle we fight is the one between our ears. Have a great day.